first split of Iowa's bow season has ended, and now most of our team are riding the bench. We are bow hunters, and a bow is not a legal weapon during Iowa's regular firearms season. Not everyone is out of the game, however. A few of the team choose to hunt the shotgun season. The last time we joined Owen Reigler, it was late November when he tagged an old warrior with his bow. On the evening of December 8th, Owen is back in the field with the great equalizer in hand.
The great equalizer. Bow hunting's fun, but there comes a day where the great equalizer is just as fun. So, like I've done many years before, I have corn and soybeans side by side here. I say the bucks gravitate toward the corn. We'll see if I'm right. Here it is, the second day of shotgun season here in Iowa. We're back to the Chainsaw Massacre farm. This is where the two bucks were locked up here. And we've actually seen both of those bucks, not personally, but on trail cam. The one right here by this locust, so they're both doing just fine and well, so glad to see that. There's two bucks in here that I think we could see, or have a decent chance of seeing. There's a 6x7 in here. Chocolate antlered buck, he's a really cool buck. And then that split G2 buck that I've talked about before in here, he's still in here. So at least we got a couple of targets that we know about, and hopefully something that we don't know about will be in here. But we'll sit in here for a couple hours and see what happens. Man, they're putting on a mega move already. It's not even 4 o'clock and they're just filing out. This is why you do all the work. Have the food on your farm and all that kind of stuff. This is better than watching any movie I can think of. We just need the right buck to pop out now. That's the one we were talking about, that 6x7. And he's headed this way, boy. Heart's beating already. You on him there? Yep. Whoa, man, I got more nerves than bow hunting right there. Whew. That was one of the deer we were hoping to see in here, that 6x7. Chocolate antlered. He looked like he was a little either run down or hurt or something. We'll have to watch the footage, but I seen him jump, so I'm sure I hit him. There's a good buck down there. Film clear down to the beans. There's a tall brown buck standing down there. It's only 4:20. It's still a whole nother hour till dark. That's crazy. We've seen all those. They just put on a mega move, which is a little bit surprising because it's warm. Like I was saying, it's, I don't know, high 40s. Deer everywhere. I might sit in here and see if I can get a couple of does. This is typically when I do my doe management during gun season here, so. Man, is he ever gorgeous. I got 3 years of history with that buck. That's the other one we talked about. We got in here, that split G2 buck. Hunted, what, 35 days with a bow. Never laid eyes on him or this 6x7. We just couldn't get a shooter in front of us. That's the way the rut is. It seems like, you know, they're so haphazard. Early and late almost seems like better when you've got, you know, food. That's awesome. 2 shooters in one night. That's a nice looking deer right there. I love that one. We did watch that footage back. It looked like the shot was right in there, so I'd be surprised if he made it much past this pond right here, but we'll still try and get on blood here if we can. Yeah, That's got to be him right there, isn't it? You can see something shining right there. It looks white. Good big deer. Look at that thing. Ooh. Couldn't find much of a blood trail, but walked right up to him here. Gorgeous buck. Not often you get 7 typical points on one side. That's pretty cool. And I didn't even notice he had a little split right there on that too. He looks pretty darn old to me. I wonder what he is. It'll be interesting. We'll send his teeth in as well and get him aged, but he's one that just showed up about the end of the rut. He came in, we started getting pictures of him, and he was one we wanted to target along with that split G2 buck. So awesome evening. One of the best I can remember.
Drake Lamb has been behind the camera since tagging a dandy buck in early November. He now chooses to take advantage of the gun season to help me harvest does and keep the herd on my farm in check.
Alrighty, we are just rolling up to Bill's farm, and it's the second season here in Iowa, shotgun. I decided to wait and just get doe tags for the season and save my buck tag for late muzzleloader. So me and a buddy actually hunted a couple days ago. I took him out to shoot a doe on Bill's, and we actually saw that one-eye buck that we encountered back in November. So he's still alive, living right behind the house, which is not that far from where we encountered him, but hopefully we can get a couple does down. I got 2 doe tags, so fingers crossed we got the smoke pole so they don't have to be close.
While Drake waits for the deer to move, that same evening, 85 miles to the southwest, Owen Reigler is preparing to hunt. But this time, Owen is not the one behind the gun.
What temperature dropped out today. Here it is, December 14th. This is opening day of second shotgun here in Iowa. We're heading back to the same blind where I shot that 6x7. We're going after that split G2 buck. The only thing is, I'm not hunting. I've got my girlfriend with me. She's going to be doing the shooting, so I'll be doing the filming. We'll see how that goes. But she doesn't want to be on camera necessarily, so that's why I'm doing the interview. So, well, let's get headed back up in there. We'll see how it goes. I don't think she likes getting filmed for some reason. I don't know. Still trying to figure this out. All right, we'll have to get serious here. See him coming at us right now?
Yep.
That's your buck. When he turns, he's 100 yards. So just use your, he's closer than that, just use your regular crosshairs.
Come on, buddy.
Hold that way, let him turn a little. Right there, if you want that angle, take it.
Did it hit him?
I don't know what happened. There's our split G2 buck. We had deer everywhere, and all of a sudden he just appeared. He must have walked in from behind that corn right there. He looked like he was hurt when he ran over that terrace, like he might go down. Is that the biggest deer you ever shot at?
Yo. Have you not seen the Michigan deer?
Owen and Rachel decide to stay in the blind until dark, waiting for Joe to arrive before taking up the blood trail on the great buck. Back on my farm, the deer are beginning to move.
Well, we're down to probably a half an hour or so left of the legal light, and had this little buck feeding down here in the beans for probably an hour, and nothing else has come out just until now. Fawn came out, and then there's a pretty good buck that came out behind her. I'm not sure what buck it is, but I'm sure they're gonna work their way down here. But of course, there's no does that have popped out yet, so hopefully we can at least get one of these doe tags filled. She's 109 right now. You ready? She's down right there. I think she was just a little bit past 90 yards. But feels good. I love shooting with a gun. We're gonna go get a tag on her before it gets dark though. Big old girl.
As Drake wraps up his successful hunt, Owen, Rachel, and Joe take up the trail.
You're gonna laugh at the filming job. So he runs off, and I had the blind spot in the blind. So I switch windows, and I get these does running down the hill. Well, I can't see the buck, and I'm like, well, he already ran in the timber. Well, then I watch the footage back. I can see his antlers turning in the viewfinder, but I didn't see him. I shut the camera off, so I don't know how much I missed there.
There he is, right there, boys. Look at that.
I told you.
He didn't go anywhere, did he?
No.
Probably not. He didn't make it.
From the last place we could see him right there, that's not another.
Where we stopped to, we should have been able to see him.
If I knew the viewfinder was on him, I was on him, we would have seen him fall. Yeah, he didn't go anywhere, did he?
No, he didn't. I told you I hit him.
Yeah, awesome. Well, here he is. I'm surprised we didn't see him go down, actually. He's just, from where I had him in the viewfinder there, he's just another about 30 yards right here. So, what a heck of a nice deer. Split twos, which he's had these for several years. Just a cool deer. We hunted him a little bit with the bow this year and just never could lay eyes on him. But boy, we got into late season, and he was pretty steady right here. We saw him the other time we hunted here, first season. I shot that 6x7, and he was one of the last ones out, like they usually are, the older bucks. But as soon as I saw him, I was like, there's your buck. Can't wait to get it mounted so I can put it in my house. It's gonna look beautiful.
No.
That wasn't the deal?
No, that's not the deal.
Rachel, Owen, and Drake weren't the only ones taking advantage of the firearm season. Team member Josh Honeycutt is still hunting hard in his home state of Kentucky. With the late season now open, Josh selects the muzzleloader.
There's already 3 bucks right here in front of me. Hopefully GP or the wide 7 or the tall 7 will move this afternoon. Right there's my first ever muzzleloader buck, and I couldn't be more happy with that deer. We ain't got our hands on him yet, so I don't want to jinx it, but I'm pretty sure that's a dead deer. Here he is. This is the buck that ended up killing here in Kentucky during our late muzzleloader season. You know, it's been a tough season, and you know, everybody says that at some point or another, but it truly has been the toughest season I've ever had. I'm proud to put my Kentucky tag on this 2019 buck.
Drake, Josh, Rachel, and Owen have shown us that when you have food, relatively undisturbed deer, and a gun in hand, December can be very productive. Other members of the team have a steeper climb, however. After tagging out in early November, Mike Reed ground his way through the rest of the month in the urban zone with little success. Now, with another statewide buck tag in his pocket, Mike's focus shifts to finding a target. The late season has also brought me another buck tag, and as Drake mentioned, the one-eyed buck is still walking the farm. The late season also opens a window for Jared Mills, one he can look through to see if the big 10-pointer he was hunting made it through the gun seasons. And Josh Sparks hopes to finally break through with a kill. The recipe is simple, and we know exactly what it is. We have to find good food sources in areas where the deer have not been heavily hunted, and we need cold temperatures to get those deer on their feet in daylight. Unfortunately, we also know that the best food sources are often large harvested fields. This style of hunting produces a lot of sightings in the distance. It is not nearly as bow hunter friendly as the rut. We are excited by the fact that we will be back in the game very soon, yet we are only cautiously optimistic. Closing the distance is going to be a challenge. Given a choice, we would way rather be chasing November.